I've been in a boxing gym and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I come home and say, you got to tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You got to get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing weapon.
As the ongoing tension between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr. continues to grab attention, old sparring footage has resurfaced showing the two in the ring years ago, where Floyd appeared to get the upper hand and even rocked Roy during the session. Just like he's done before, it was Floyd himself who shared the clip, suggesting he has a stash of such footage, but he quickly removed it from his social media. However, it had already spread widely online and gone viral by then.
To me, people don't give him enough credit. People always say, well, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think he would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him?
Right.
Sugar is a dog. Yeah. People don't, just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing. Yeah. Sugar is a dog. Yeah. People don't give him enough credit for that. You gotta think.
In the footage, Floyd Mayweather Jr. clearly controlled the action, landing clean shots on Roy Jones Jr. multiple times while smoothly slipping and avoiding most of the punches coming his way with his sharp defense, which ultimately gave him the edge in the session. Although Roy stayed active and kept throwing non-stop, many of his shots missed or had little effect, and while the sparring didn't seem personal or intense, Floyd still managed to shake him more than once, though it's widely understood in boxing that sparring sessions are very different from real fights.
And everyone keeps saying, man, what's it like in there with Floyd with his speed? You know, it's not even, he's quick, yeah, but it's not even the speed, it's his timing. He'll set those traps, and he'll have you coming in thinking you're going to land something, and then pop, he's there, and then gone. You know, it's all his timing and experience.
Yeah. Does timing slightly translate into power?
Yeah, it does. The hardest shots are those unexpected ones, which, you know,
ones you don't brace yourself for.
Floyd sets you up for.
Sparring can serve many purposes, so a poor showing might simply mean a fighter is focusing on improving a specific skill, and as soon as this footage surfaced, boxing fans rushed to react online with strong opinions. One fan said, "Now I understand why Roy Jones Jr. doesn't want to face Floyd Mayweather Jr." While another claimed Floyd had already handled a bigger version of Roy in the past and questioned how Roy could still see himself as greater, even suggesting he might not be on the level of Canelo Alvarez. But at the same time, many pointed out that sparring doesn't truly define anything in boxing and should only be taken seriously if it happens in a real fight.
But my take on it always is, there's a lot of guys that can do good in a boxing gym. I can have 30 bad days in a boxing gym. The boxing gym don't count. You know, everybody, even like different guys all around the sport of boxing, rave about what they did in the gym. I'm here to let every fighter know, and every trainer know, and every promoter know.
Despite what the sparring clip suggests, Manny Pacquiao believes that a prime Roy Jones Jr. would defeat Floyd Mayweather Jr., and as the two legends continue trading words on social media, talk of a possible clash between them has started to build excitement among fans, as it would bring together two of boxing's finest in a highly anticipated matchup. When asked for his opinion ahead of his scheduled fight against Mario Barrios for the World Boxing Council welterweight title, Pacquiao confidently shared his view on who he thinks is the better fighter between the two icons.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones. You know Roy Jones, right?
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you very
Let me
much.
get a shout out for Team Locked In.
By knockout.
You agree with me, Roy Jones? Roy Jones is in his prime, man.
During a media scrum, Manny Pacquiao backed Roy Jones Jr., praising his speed, footwork, and power, and when asked if a prime Roy, often called Captain Hook, could knock out Floyd Mayweather Jr., he simply said he believes it could happen. While a clash between the American legends would clearly excite fans, there are also reports suggesting that the 50-fight veteran might choose a different path, but before getting into those details, Pacquiao stepped into the growing feud with a direct and no-nonsense opinion.
This in around, between round 13 and 14, I think, Angelo Dundee said, "You're blowing it, son." Sugar Leonard got went there and put these things on Tommy Hearns, who knocked Roberto Duran cold with one shot. Your timing hits you just like G-Man. You've been hit. Yeah. So for Sugar to go out there and do that, man, they don't give Sugar enough credit. You understand me?
He's a great finisher, too.
The debate heated up again when Roy Jones Jr. appeared on the All the Smoke Fight podcast and praised Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd Mayweather Jr., which led Floyd to fire back by posting several of Jones Jr.'s knockout clips, adding more fuel to the rivalry. But when asked about the situation, Manny Pacquiao took a calmer approach, choosing not to stir the debate and instead focusing on unity, saying in an interview with Fight Hype that he doesn't like comparing achievements and believes what truly matters is inspiring boxing fans through what they've accomplished.
Who is the better fighter in their prime?
Look, in their prime, I mean, I gotta give it up to both guys, but I mean, look, we're retired, man. Let's keep this fighting thing for the young bucks, you know.
But you fought Floyd, you fought him, so you know firsthand, you know his talent. Sure. But Roy in his prime, when he was like Superman before the knockouts, before everything.
He made it clear that every fighter's legacy should be respected on its own, without unnecessary comparisons or drama, as Manny Pacquiao believes such debates take away from the true spirit of boxing, even repeating in the same interview that he doesn't agree with ranking fighters like Roy Jones Jr. did, and instead encourages respect over rivalry so legends can be seen as sources of inspiration rather than names on a list. A mindset that reflects his overall outlook, especially considering his massive 2015 showdown with Floyd Mayweather Jr., which became one of the biggest pay-per-view events ever. Yet despite that historic fight, Pacquiao has stayed humble, choosing to focus more on his family, faith, and helping others rather than chasing comparisons.
Most fighters aren't afraid to fight nobody if they're going to get paid for it properly. The problem is, you don't want to take a $5 million fight and you only going to get $50,000 for it. Because if you lose it, that's almost the end of the day for you. Why would you put yourself on the line for that? It makes common sense what people do. It made sense what Floyd Mayweather did.
The Asian star Manny Pacquiao recently took a subtle jab at Floyd Mayweather Jr., calling him overly focused on money and saying he feels sorry for someone who chooses wealth over spiritual values. And as he prepares for a comeback at age 46 against Mario Barrios on July 19, 2025, Pacquiao is not only getting ready physically but also showing leadership through his words, as his calm yet firm response to Roy Jones Jr. reflects his effort to connect boxing's past with its future while promoting respect and sportsmanship beyond competition. And as he steps back into the spotlight, he continues to reject comparisons, encouraging fighters to inspire fans instead, distancing himself from materialistic thinking and reinforcing his focus on faith, charity, and purpose, ultimately presenting himself not just as a great boxer but as a strong and guiding voice in the sport's legacy.
Yeah, good. Andre, I got one better for you. You gotta come to ATS fight for that, my boy. What you think about Roy calling out Floyd? You gotta come to all the smoke for that.
What do you think about Roy and Floyd going back and forth? I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. I mean, Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man.
Andre, we're going this way.
They fighters.
Isn't that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out. If you can see it coming like straight right hand to the body, you kind of brace for it. But when he's stepping to the side, slipping, coming back with something, that's unexpected. That stuff, it gets you a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. And like I said, how many rounds did you do with Floyd Mayweather?
Today I did 2. Last week I did 3.
Okay. So what would you say is his, you already said his timing is one of his most effective weapons. What else would you say is his most effective weapon in there?
Most effective weapon is setting you into a trap, sucking you in.
One of the biggest topics in boxing recently came from a June 17th episode of Andre Ward's All the Smoke Fight podcast, where he asked Roy Jones Jr. who would win in a prime matchup between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Sugar Ray Leonard, and Jones didn't hesitate to back Sugar, explaining that while people often pick Floyd, he believes Sugar had a level of toughness and intensity that Floyd never showed, saying Floyd's usual style wouldn't work against someone like Leonard unless he made major adjustments. And although Floyd is respected, Jones questioned whether he's ever truly been pushed to show that same level of heart, while insisting that Sugar had already proven he possessed it.
You're there to make your mistakes in a boxing gym. In a boxing gym, you're there to learn. It's a learning experience. I'm not in the gym. When I'm in the gym, a lot of times, I'm there to grow and to get better and help guys get better. And I want guys that's sharp help me get better. So just with me being 40 years old,
Floyd Mayweather Jr. clearly didn't take those remarks lightly, responding through several Instagram stories on July 6th by reposting clips of Roy Jones Jr. being knocked out in different fights, a silent but pointed reaction that intensified the situation even more. Following this, Jones Jr. went on to challenge Mayweather directly, and the wider boxing world began weighing in on the growing feud, including Andre Ward, who originally sparked the debate with his question on the All the Smoke Fight podcast and later addressed the backlash in a July 10th Fight Hype interview. joking about being blamed for the controversy and saying it was simply a conversation between fighters, nothing more than competitive talk among legends.
Touching a little bit of online beef, we saw Roy Jones here, you know, him and Floyd Mayweather getting after it. Just what are your thoughts? I know you watched it because I could see the smile on your face.
It's two uncles, man, going at it, man. I don't know what to say. I'm, you know, I don't even know how to feel about it. I mean, I do know this. They're fighters. And, you know, entertainers and fighters, they're sensitive about their work.
When asked if a real fight between Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. could actually happen, Andre Ward said he doesn't believe it will, adding that while he respects all three legends, he personally grew up admiring them and even called Roy his all-time favorite fighter, though he also tried to learn from both Floyd and Bernard Hopkins. Meanwhile, current pound-for-pound star Terence Crawford continues to dominate the sport with world titles in 4 weight classes and undisputed status in 2 divisions, and he is now preparing for a major showdown against Saul Canelo Alvarez on September 13th for the undisputed super middleweight title. Known for his sharp skills and knockout power with 31 KOs in 41 wins, Crawford has often said he never had a single boxing hero, but when pressed, he admitted he especially admired Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr.
His speed, his power, his punch placement, his IQ, the way that he went about boxing. He's a hooper. I like to play basketball. He fish. I like to fish.
While speaking with fans in Sydney, Australia, Terence Crawford said he feels a strong personal connection with Roy Jones Jr., explaining that they share similar interests like fishing, dogs, and basketball, which is why Roy has always been his favorite fighter, while also acknowledging Floyd Mayweather Jr. for his incredible discipline and work ethic inside the ring. Some fans even compare Crawford's style to Floyd because he mixes sharp defense with strong knockout ability and a constant drive to finish fights, making him one of the most exciting fighters to watch, and with his upcoming clash against Saul Canelo Alvarez, many believe he may finally face one of his toughest tests, turning the fight into a must-watch event for boxing fans everywhere.
Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with them like that.
They fighters, bro.
Roy say
that fighting them is never gonna die.
We gotta push really high a little bit.
Right now?
Yeah, like an exhibition.
Anything could happen. He said, "Oh, gotta go." We'll see.
Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are 2 all-time greats who have made a lasting impact on boxing and are often compared in debates about the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Mayweather, who retired with a perfect 50-0 record, is widely regarded as one of the best in history thanks to his elite defense, ring control, and ability to dictate every round, while also achieving massive commercial success, including involvement in 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events in boxing history.
Smoke with Roy Jones Jr.
Boy, Mayweather, anybody else that won't smoke the word talk, we know damn well they can get in no question. Has they ever been a question? That's one thing that's different from Roy, and that's the difference between Roy and Floyd. Floyd picked who he fought. Roy fought whoever the fuck came. You my lady. So, don't get this fuck. Y'all made me tough.
However, Roy Jones Jr. has a different view. In an interview with Real Life Productions, when asked if he sees Floyd Mayweather Jr. as the greatest of all time, he answered firmly, "No, Jones, known for his smooth yet powerful style, made history as a champion across 4 weight divisions and became the first fighter in over a century to win world titles from middleweight all the way up to heavyweight." Throughout his career, he defeated top names like James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, and Antonio Tarver, earning a reputation for an exciting and highly skilled fighting style.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like...
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could retire to 80-0.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. famously ended his career with a perfect 50-0 record, winning titles in 5 weight divisions and earning a reputation for some of the best defensive boxing ever seen, along with becoming one of the sport's biggest commercial stars through multiple record-breaking pay-per-view events. However, when speaking to Real Life Productions, Roy Jones Jr. said he does not consider that record enough to label Floyd the greatest of all time, explaining that while staying undefeated for so long deserves respect, he believes other fighters had even more impressive runs, pointing to Julio Cesar Chavez and his long unbeaten streak as an example, and also mentioning Rocky Marciano in the context of undefeated records, saying Floyd reached 50-0 and chose to stop there, which in his view, keeps the GOAT debate open.
Jones versus Floyd Mayweather beef. Now, we all know Floyd was showing the videos of Roy Jones getting knocked the hell out, and I said, Where the hell did this come from? Why he do him like that? Well, it stems from Roy. We all know.
Roy Jones Jr. also questioned Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s final fight, where Floyd stopped UFC star Conor McGregor in his boxing debut, and that moment added more fuel to the ongoing GOAT debate between the two legends. Despite the back and forth, the discussion over who is truly the greatest is likely to continue, shaped by their different careers, achievements, and views of the sport. When Mayweather was asked about Jones Jr. claiming he is the best ever, he responded calmly, saying everyone is entitled to their opinion and that he is glad Roy feels confident in his own legacy, adding that any fighter who dedicates their life to boxing and sacrifices so much in the ring deserves to feel proud of what they've accomplished.
Brady, and I don't know if people realize this, Roy. Your first 50 fights, you didn't get beat, you got DQ'd. Had you been 50-0, would you have stopped?
After I won the heavyweight title and went back down and beat Tarver that first time, I would have stopped right there. But it was in my DNA. It was in my...
Floyd Mayweather Jr. explained that one of his fights took place at a catchweight, but he insisted it was not his idea, pointing out that the situation was publicly documented online. He said that Saul Canelo Alvarez had initially suggested he was avoiding the fight and even offered to meet at around 152 pounds, which Mayweather accepted, saying he was willing to take the challenge at that weight. However, Mayweather added that while Canelo successfully made the agreed limit, there was no restriction on how much he could rehydrate afterward, noting that Canelo came in significantly heavier on fight night, while Mayweather himself stayed around 151 to 152 pounds.
The guys around him, he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he make one. Because now we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what? We are fortunate that we saw the fight. Because to be honest with you, Earl came back from dead and made it back and fought this.
Roy Jones Jr. is widely respected as one of the most talented fighters in boxing history, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. has often been praised as one of the sport's greatest ever competitors, having defeated many elite opponents, won world titles in 5 weight divisions, and retired undefeated with a perfect 50-0 record while also building massive success outside the ring, which is why many fans call him TBO, the best ever.
And nobody said that. When they were both occupying boxing at the same time, Floyd wasn't sniffing his jockstrap. And I'm talking about Pretty Boy Floyd and Roy. You can't even argue that because we were there. I was there watching both of them. No one mentioned Floyd with Roy. It's not like they're 2 different eras and you can't compare them. They were being compared.
Despite all his achievements and perfect record, not everyone agrees that the 5-division world champion Floyd Mayweather Jr. fully matches the legendary status often attached to his name, as debates about his place in boxing history continue among fans and experts. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates, key moments, and major news from the world of boxing, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new content like this.